Hi there. Miss me? Because I certainly missed you guys. I don't know what to say. It's just been a heck of a summer for me, and this whole college getting into application process is fun stuff. I am so sorry that it's had to take precedence over the past few months, but comics is my home, and so I'm back for good, hopefully. I mean, maybe a few weeks here and there I won't be able to make it, but I plan to do as much as I can now, and yes, here I am, once again, torn into pieces. Okay guys, so as most of you know, I went to Comic-Con last week, which is, to me, is like Christmas. It's just the absolute best experience, and so I decided that I would tell you guys my top 5 favorite comic-related things to come out of Comic-Con this year. Let's start with number 5. Now, as most of you know, The Amazing Spider-Man is not my absolute favorite, but I've really kind of warmed up to it over time. And you know, it's not a bad movie. And I really do think that Andrew Garfield is a perfect Peter Parker. I just didn't think that the first movie was the perfect movie to surround that character. But the Sony panel had The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as one of their main movies that they were pushing, and Andrew Garfield was in character as Spider-Man. Even better than that was the footage they showed. It really looks like they're actually going to make Spider-Man fun again, and that's the one thing that I really felt like the first movie was lacking, is that it didn't have the real essence of the character in the sense that it was just so kind of dark and brooding, and it wasn't fun classic Spider-Man. It looks like this movie will finally get that, I think, since the first time since Spider-Man 2. Anyway, it looks really, really good. Jamie Foxx actually looks like a pretty good villain. It looks pretty good. I'm excited, and you know, I have somewhat higher expectations than I did, so hopefully I can live up to them, and then some. Number 4. Some DC news for you. You see, I can do both. The DC animated movies are almost universally perceived as being better than Marvel's, and I can see that. I mean, it's true. And it looks like that's going to continue. Not only did they show Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox at Comic-Con, which I sadly was not able to attend, but I hear is awesome, but they also announced their next 3 movies after that, which all sound like they're going to be great. One is based on the first major story arc of the Justice League and the New 52. The second one is a Batman movie set within the universe of the Arkham games. I don't know if it's going to be classically animated like the other movies, or if it's going to actually be CG like the video games. I kind of actually hope the latter, because I just think that that'd be a really cool, interesting new approach that they could take on these movies, and it would clearly fit this series very well, as that's all it's ever been. And lastly, another Batman movie, I mean, they know who their most popular character is, and who their best one is, come on, is a story about the son of Batman, Damian Wayne, who to me is one of the best Robins, and one of the most interesting Robins. And, you know, I'm just really excited to see all 3 of these movies, and while Marvel may be crushing ya in the live-action department, DC is just still going strong with these animated movies, still at the top of their game. Text message. Sorry. Number 3. Another DC one. I love giving DC some love, especially because my next 2 are not going to be DC. It was the unveiling by Zack Snyder of the Man of Steel sequel, which happens to include a character who DC knows is their most popular character, and so seems to kind of be implementing into a lot of their upcoming material. Under almost any other circumstance, the prospect of a Batman-Superman movie would, I mean, I can't imagine it being anything than other than my number 1 favorite thing to come out of Comic-Con. Because, I mean, while I'm a huge Marvel fan, Batman-Superman, to me, is one of the best dynamics in all of comics. If only I liked Man of Steel better. And if only I felt like this wasn't a response to the fact that Man of Steel didn't do quite as well critically or commercially as they had hoped it would, and so they figured, well, let's just kind of put Batman in the sequel there. Either way, it's hard not to be thrilled by this news, and you know, hopefully they can learn from what I perceive to be the mistakes that Man of Steel made, and make it awesome, and make it everything that we as fans want it to be. I really, really, really want it to be good. I just I think I have some reasonably lower expectations than I would have under other circumstances. But if anything, that's going to be a good thing, because then I will go in, see it, and hopefully be blown away. Number 2, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel. When I went into this panel, I had no idea that they were actually going to show the entire pilot. And let me tell you, it is awesome. You would never really know that it was a TV show. I mean, it fits so seamlessly into the Marvel Cinematic Universe that they set up, and it's just hilarious. It's classic Whedon. Still not completely sold on the idea of reviving characters in the cinematic universe, but if it looks like they're crafting an interesting story about his return, and it's not something they're just going to kind of throw away in one episode. They're really going to kind of craft a good story about it, and so if they're able to come up with a good story that doesn't make them lose any credibility, and kind of still makes his death in the Avengers somewhat meaningful plot-wise, I'll be very happy. Now, number 1, I know you can probably guess what this is going to be. That's right, the Marvel Studios panel. Big surprise, I know. But being able to see Tom Hiddleston in character as Loki, being able to see awesome, long, might I mention, very lengthy footage for Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and that sweet, sweet Avengers 2 title reveal. I am a huge Ultron fan, if you didn't already know that. It was, classic Marvel, blowing the roof up. I mean, you go to Comic-Con now to see the Marvel panel. I mean, they've become the winners of Comic-Con for the past few years now, and I mean, what they do during those panels is just unprecedented. They give us more footage, more breaking news, more anything than any other studio, and I mean, it's why they're so successful. They're great at what they do, they know what the fans want, and they deliver, and then some. Yes, that is what I thought about Comic-Con. Please feel free to disagree with me heartily in the comments below. If you agree with me, let me know that too, and tell me why. I want to know what you thought was great coming out of Comic-Con this year, what you didn't like so much. So please, let me know what you thought about Comic-Con this year. I am so very happy to be back with you guys, and I hope to see you again next week, and I plan on it. Thank you very much for Richard for steering the ship while I was gone. Catch you guys later.